This is Paul. Yeah. Just reading this dictionary. Yes. They have what's called expropriate. Yes. To transfer or take property from the owner for public use, to deprive a person or property, to deprive a person of property or ownership. That should be an of instead of an or. Yeah. Yep. It should be. To deprive a person of property or ownership. Yes. And then there's what's known as expunge, to delete or remove, to erase. Yeah. It seemed to me that somebody's been expropriating my personal property for public use. I was sitting here and I had seen a vehicle drive by, which had a crown on it. I got to thinking about the Queen of England. Isn't her name Elizabeth? How is the royal family of the United Kingdom, or is it England, or is it Britain? I always get it confused because it could be the United Kingdom, but Wales is a separate country, and so is Scotland. Yeah. But it seemed to me that some royal families have paid a lot of money to keep me from my personal property and the ownership of my property. Now, I had mentioned that I wanted to know where my inheritance is. I mentioned that in some videos earlier today, and I thought maybe the Queen of England wanted to call me. Maybe that Harry and William and Kate and Philip and Camille and Charles, Prince Charles, maybe. They wanted to call and tell me what the royal families of the world know about the use of my family as a communication system. I got a new Wi-Fi phone number, and as I remembered, the Queen of England was so concerned about her fish family. You could have the royal family call me at 360-747-8431. If the Queen of England would like to call me, I'd like to know how much did the royal family pay to obstruct my rightful ownership of every asset that I have. Now, I know Elizabeth is a little concerned about her fish, but as that American citizen that was really serious about suing every oath of office in this nation for not informing me of my actual assets, it could be that there are some royal families throughout the world that have some knowledge about my family. As I remember it, Maximilian was going to be the king of Europe, the queen of Denmark, Charlotte Anderson Bjerg, who the royal family of Sweden seemed like they were very lizarded at one point. Do the royal families still keep lizards in their rectums like they used to, or did they decide to get rid of those things? The king of Norway. As I remember it, I thought I was going to buy large amounts of land in Sweden and Norway because of the lizarding of the population. Beatrix, that old bitch, the Queen of Holland, is she still alive? Because she was bathing in blood at one point. Now, I'd like to know, of all the Malaysian royalty, was there really a betrothal of my son Zachary to a very young princess? Because we went to dinner once at Pastor Byong's when we were staying at the Guma San Jose, and it seemed to me that Heidi had arranged to marry off my son's Zachary, closing the top of a ketchup bottle. In fish language meant, yep, it's a done deal. Now, I know that when I had met with Alfredo Bustamante and I had brought a small copy of the Gideon's New Testament, a pocket copy of it, Alfredo had showed up with a big copy of Strong's Concordance and a large number of other biblical works. And we were eating, as Alfredo had suggested, bagels with white cream cheese on them. Now, in the fish family way of communicating, that makes absolutely no sense. You could seal the deal by shutting a ketchup bottle or eating a bagel with cream cheese on it. Now, I want my 5 sons and I'm wanting to know of the Indonesian royal families. Seem like that's a pretty good sized palace you got over there. I said that you could have the place of worship for the citizens of Indonesia, but I'd be happy to purchase that, what was it, 1,000-roomed palace. Now I'm going to need to know where are all the royal families of the world and how many of them paid for shows. Good to see you, Pooch. And how many of them were in the top secret fish family of those that conspired to deprive me of my rights, my family, my assets. Now, if you could find out, I'd like you to give me a call at 360-747-8431. What deals were made? Was Zachary going to marry a Malaysian princess? Was Max going to be the king of Europe? Was Bishop going to be an Olympic athlete? Was Deacon going to make comic books for, what's his name, Marvel Comics? There was a man named Smith, I think his name was Smith, and the guy that runs Marvel Comics. Seemed like Uncle Wally had known quite a few of those in entertainment. How is Uncle Wally and how's his hair? If you could just bloody the nose of that old vampire Nazi, I'd like to know, where are my assets? Where is Uncle Wally?